Uh, Today I'm going to explain you about the reasoning. Over a month now, Indian Airlines, Indian Airlines, it has been crashed, right? So it's a tragic story. Uh, so I'm asking. I did a research, and I was thinking, what is the main root causes of the recent Indian Air uh, uh, collapsing, Indian airline collapsing, and the accident. There's an incident happened, and somebody says it's a fuel cut off, and uh, so if I tell you about the history of Indian Airlines, it's a if you see the location, Indian Air flight A 171, and it's a Boeing 787 8 Dreamliner airline, right? And which is crashed very shortly after the takeoff from Ahmedabad in India, on its route to the London Gatwick International Airport in June 12th on 2025. Once I explain you about the date and the location, it's June 12th near the Ahmedabad airport, and the aircraft by the name of the model of the aircraft, if I explain you about, it's about the Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, registration B8ANP, and the flight route into Ahmedabad to London Gatwick LGW, right? The floodlights 203. If you say the floodlights, it's 260 people. 260 people killed on board. 241 of 242 occupants, and one passenger was survived, and 19 people who were killed on the ground, to making the total of 279 fatalities. And there was the first fatal accident, and the hull lost for the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, right? Immediate cause, it's like a preliminary report comes. Preliminary reports will say both engine fuels control switches moved from run to the cutoff position simultaneously. So how it happens and why it happens, we don't know yet, right? And also within the second, within 1 second of each other. So shortly after the takeoff, it is immediately cut off the fuels within 38 seconds, right? And also causing the loss of thrust, right? As per the Bernoulli's theorem, when it's like a you can say, like, if it is 10,000 feet or like this, okay, it can be survived. But it's like a like you can say 20,000 feet, yes, it can survive. But within a short period of time, like you can say it's 38 seconds after the takeoff, as per the Bernoulli's theorem, it's very hard to penetrating and also maneuverability, right? In every aircraft, because of the loading, and also more than I think 95,000 liters of barrels, 95,000 liters of oil. So in a situation like that, also some reports says the cockpit confusion when they closely scan the reports, right? The cockpit voice recorder and captured on one pilot asking each other, "Why do you cut off?" Right? And which is other pilot reportedly denied doing so, right? Main unanswered question. If you see the main unanswered question of this tragic event, right? While the immediate cause of the engine failure is identified, is unidentified. Is identified The primary focus of the ongoing investigation is to determine why these fuel controls switches move to the cutoff position, right? This is a very, very big issue, right? This is a critical question, and AAIB, assisting agencies like US NTSB and Boeing and General Electric are working on this answer, right? Investigation areas, pilot actions, and the technical malfunction can be happen, and pre-advisories like a preliminary report, not a, like 2018 Federation of Aviation advisory regarding the potential flow of the fuel, like a fuel control switch of that airline, and the mechanisms on some Boeing planes, like including 787, 767, and 777, right? Indian airline, actually India has a large history of, it has a big history of falling aircraft crash. But what about Sri Lankan airline, right? I am proudly say, not even one airline, right? Even one person did not have scratching of by airline accident, right? So it pre-advisories like preliminary, the report says 2018, as I said you, fuel control switch systems has locking mechanism in some Boeing planes, including the 787, and it is a common error, like because we have the Japanese airline. I remember a few years ago, it has tire issues, right? And AAIB has explicitly started with the preliminary and the primary report, assigning to blame to provide the definite conclusions, right? This is a conclusion. This kind of area studies, I think my son has came and say hi, yes, hi to you, and I'm on a video, and preliminary and a premature and the speculative media reports, some says conclusion and one against the speculative area reports. Full investigation is still going on, but unfortunately they cannot still find what has happened to that airline. Right before 110 airline in Indonesian airline, before Garuda airline, there was a it was sunk into the deep sea. Nobody knows what has happened, right? And also, when we talk about why it is still this technical malfunctions, right, and the pilot actions, like when you see the technical malfunctions and all these things, still possibly it is intentional act under the consideration, like we do not know, and still the examination of the tail wreckages, electric malfunctions can be happen. So still it is under the investigation, right? Investigators, they are also closely examining the tail section of the aircraft, which was the sign of like a constrained electric fire or some components. Like it can be definitely it can be a malfunction error, and that the officials probably, if an electrical malfunction before the takeoff, it could have, they would have to have check it before, but in that level they did not check properly. I think their airliner or aircraft properly, severely they did not check. The aircraft engineers and the ground engineers, they all are responsible for this matter, right? The innocent lives, more than 279 lives, who was people, the people who were in the ground also, once it collided, and once it down, the aircraft collapsed. 90 people dead on that. There's one university in Ahmedabad within less than 40 seconds, right? And also most probable, I mean, the preliminary findings, and the current focus of the investigation, when it once it happens, loses the engine thrust and due to the fuel cutoff. How it happens, we do not know, right? Maybe the malfunction, maybe electrical failure, maybe electronic failure, like a malfunction, some kind of, right? And the preliminary report in India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, AAIB, we call it as AAIB, indicates that the both engines lost the thrust because of their fuel control switches move from the run into the cutoff. I don't know how it comes, right? So these people are not just the trainers. They, the co-pilot is, the assistant pilot. He has the record of flying hours more than 1,500, and the main pilot, the main captain, he has more than 9,000 flying hours trained. So this is some kind of a miracle, it's a disaster. Like it's unbelievable, right? It's very weird when you think about it, right? And also, once they talk about the both engines lost the thrust because of their fuel controls, which has moved from the run into the cutoff positions, as I explained you, and within 1 second, each other shortly after takeoff, right? So it is it is some kind of a strategy. Very disaster. And cockpit confusion. This is, I don't know, it is the first time or not in aviation history this kind of things happen, that we have to examine about it. And cockpit confusion is another error, another fatal error, right? And the cockpit voice recording, once they found it later, they reportedly captured one pilot asking the other one, the captain asking from other person, the co-pilot, the assistant pilot, why they cut off, to which is other pilot denied doing so. These suggestions, confusion, dispute over the controls, right? And also undetermined cause of the switch movement, we don't know. It is very crucial thing, right? And preliminary reported did not decide to claim the definitive state why the fuel control switches moved from the cutoff position. And this is a central question, ongoing investigation still. But do you think after something happens, losing the life of more than 279 people or 280 people, do you think it's so fair to see investigation what has happened? Come on, we are living in a very advanced world, but I don't think so. They do in a country like India, they can find it in a pinpoint accuracy level, right? And also, some people say we do not know. Possibly intentional act under the consideration. What kind of intentional act, right? And as an aviation expert, Attorney Anthony Bakehouse has publicly stated that based on the preliminary evidence, that the intentional act of the pilot, he is a strongly, can be strongly possibility, right? As a cutting fuel of flow of the both engines. They have two twin engines aircraft, Dreamliner, 787 is a Dreamliner, it's a twin engine aircraft. Both the engines simultaneously shortly after takeoff. It's highly unusual. It's unlike very, very unusual, and not a normal procedure, right? It's not a normal procedure for any mechanical malfunctions, right? And the examination of the tail breakage and the electronic malfunctions, also investigators, they are also closely examining the tail sections of the aircraft, and also what went wrong, right? And where there were signs of the contained electrical fire or some kind of malfunctions or some components. In some components, we do not know. It can be happen, right? Can be happen. The officials are probably, if an electrical malfunctions before the takeoff, it could have led into the disruption of the flight sensors and triggered the incorrect data to the engine and control unit, and also potentially cutting off the fuel supply, right? So it might be a reason, we do not know. and caution against the speculation, and also U.S. National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, has cautioned against the premature and the speculative media reports. They passes because these things done by the China, right? And pilot association, they rejected about this matter, and what to do now? We cannot say anything because it's highly unlikely, and it is all. It means to say that it is already gone. The people's life already gone. They will not come back. You cannot value a people's life, person's life. How much the value of this? $1 million, $2 million, $3 million? We do not know, right? So it is very highly unlikely. I mean, very tragic story. It should not be happen. It should not be happen. But because of commercialization and the traffics and all these things, somebody did not his or her job properly. Somewhere went wrong. Innocent lives has to be suffered, or suffered means so they're gone already. It's a very heartbreaking and a shocking story. At the end, I'm thinking at the end, after finishing everything, after make the conclusion, I'm thinking we are so much of like we how far our life is secured in this world, in this dunya. So this is my message to you today. Stay focused, stay empathy, stay self-esteem, and God bless you. Bye bye. See you another great video. Bye bye.